Okay, we are on. Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. We're kicking off a weekly series that used to be on Mondays, and now we're Fridays because it's going to be Fierce Forward Fridays. Try to say that 3 times fast. I'm back with the one and only Cindy DeCoster. So excited to see you. And today we're going to talk about market shifts and the parallels from markets past. Welcome back, Cindy. How's it going today?
Doing great, Ted. Thank you.
Good. Excited that you're here. And for the people who've never seen this show before, the ones under a rock, tell them a little bit about you before we get started.
Sure. Thank you. I am Cindy DeCoster. I am the co-owner of Fierce Realty alongside my husband. We have been in the business since 2001, and we have opened our own real estate company, Fierce Realty, in 2019. We have seen a ton of markets come and go since the beginning, and I think it's just timely to kind of have that conversation about every market is a market that can be and should be a thriving market for buyers and sellers, realtors and mortgage lenders, everybody in the real estate business, because at the end of the day, real estate is a long-term investment, and there is nothing better to put your money into than real estate.
Great.
And June is home ownership month.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm very excited to kind of have a great conversation about the state of the market and the blessings and the opportunities that are within it.
So I love this because most people are losing their minds in this market. And I mean that from a realtor perspective, well, as a lender as well, because everybody is convinced it's a seller's market, which it has been. But we've hit some snags recently. We've had appraisal issues, and the market is starting to figure out a way to correct itself. And it's just been a wild ride. So maybe tell them from your perspective a little bit about what you're seeing and or hearing, and then let's talk about some of the opportunities that come with it rather than focusing on the negatives.
Yeah, sure. So Orlando is a great real estate market. It's, we are such a diverse conglomerate of buyers and sellers. People are coming to to Central Florida. Orlando is considered Central Florida. We have the university out in Seminole County. We have a lot of agricultural land up in Lake County, and plenty is being built right now. If you've not been on the freeways, then you are really missing out. There's a new freeway 429, or I guess it's not so new, but it is coming out to kind of connecting really Central Florida, and it is putting Lake County and Disney kind of touching each other nearly. And then you have the beaches within minutes, less than an hour from us, and you have, of course, the theme parks that span Osceola County, Orange County, Lake County. So when people say Disney, it is all of that. And so there's no one market. And then let me not forget to mention the engineering market that we have with Siemens Westinghouse and Lockheed Martin and things like that. So we have people, and now Amazon is coming to us at Lake Nona, which is Medical City. So yeah, so there's a diverse market within the Central Florida area, and we have an influx of the entire world, really not just the country, but the world, from the Northerners moving down south, from the Westerners moving east. There's so much to have and make Orlando your home, truly.
Agreed. So tell them a little bit about your experience with the market itself. Are you seeing the correction? Are you concerned because buyers are not, there's so many different offers going on. Give them a little bit, because the consumer here is, most of the time the consumer gets their information
From the
from
media.
social media. So it's a
Right.
good thing for us to educate them.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, honestly, people love to compare this market to the flatlined market of the economic crash of 2007 and 8. We flatlined here in Central Florida. I think our lowest price point was 2010. Well, that was 11 years ago, and our market has been steadily increasing ever since. And the parallel that people want to connect is that economic crash. Well, that is not the case. Yes, there's an inventory shortage for sure. That is true. However, we do not have the lending practices or the irresponsible lending practices that really led to that crash. Now we have builders, and we do not have builders building just to build and flood our market like that was happening. That led to, it was like such a perfect storm.
It was the perfect storm, wasn't it?
It was a perfect storm of really bad behavior on so many parts, on so many fronts. And now, of course, you do have the gluttony that's happening. Sellers are, able to sell their property for so much more. But here's the difference. They have equity in their property. They do not have, they are not upside down. They are not forced to foreclose or short sell or anything like that. Our interest rates are still stupid low. So low. And even if, and the economists are forecasting an increase, yes, that is true. But even still, they're not predicting it to go over 4% on, again, all the disclosures on who qualifies and stuff like that, and all of that is not my forte. But I'm here to say it is a great time to buy. It is a tough time to buy because there are such an influx of cash buyers coming in. But there are programs out there for almost everybody, and the properties. This is season for us, right? So we have people. The kids are out of school, and you could get under contract and close before the kids go back to school, which is really kind of a great window that a lot of residential homeowners want to do. We have high-speed internet, and the fiber is being connected more and more to all the new communities. So people that are work from home can move to Florida and work from Florida into their metropolitan cities and things like that. So we have a lot going for us that is great.
What about the opportunities? What about the opportunities? Because I think before we went live, of course, any realtor would ask, "Oh my God, Ted, yes, let's talk about what's going on in the market." But most people are looking at it as a challenge because of the amount of offers and the fact that they're having a hard time finding their buyers a place because there's so many other people looking. Where's the opportunity there? Because I want to shift the focus for people to stop saying the sky is falling. You can't do any real estate transactions, which I think is BS. Shift it for us. Tell us what the opportunities are.
You're going to stand on this high horse right now. So I tried to avoid doing that, but it's,
It's all right. Stand up. You're golden.
Okay. So realtors that have been in the market for 10 years do not know real estate. The market of 10 years ago was a order taking business. If you had a buyer, you could sign them under a contract, and everything was bank owned. It was sold as is and things like that. That is not the market. That is not real estate, frankly. And so they were waiting for buyers to come to them, and then they would just, put whatever offers out there, whatever they could find on their MLS system, their multiple listing system, or or some of their syndicated websites years and years ago, right? So way back in the day, you actually had to work for your business. You had to, work with a buyer, help them get qualified to be able to purchase, to understand their needs and their abilities, and then pair them with a property that fit their needs. Now, back again 10 years ago, it was just like picking cherries off of a tree, and that's just not real estate. So if you keep in touch with your customers, because that's what we realtors do, we are supposed to stay connected with our people, help and understand where they are. And if you are cultivating relationships, because this is a relationship business, understanding their needs and wants and pairing them with like needs and wants,
yes,
and creating that win-win opportunity. So, we have properties that are coming on the market all the time. And the reality is that we also have the buyers, because we're doing both sides of the business. And that's really where the opportunities are. When you kind of have this conversation about real estate, it is everywhere. What are you tuning them into? Are you tuning them into gloom and doom and how difficult it is? Or are you actually saying, you know what? Do not be desperate. Do not do desperate things because you have an urgency. Real estate is a long-term investment. It is not meant to be, flipped and twisted, and, it is not show 3 houses and pick one like you see on HGTV, which I think is a disgrace to our real estate market, frankly. So
we should do a whole show on that.
So again, like, not to get all crazy, but that makes me crazy, frankly. And these
that's because that's what the consumer is. It's funny because, again, it's either social media or some sort of reality TV is where most people are getting their news from.
Reality.
It's so far. But I think, you watch those shows and it allows people to dream. But then when they go to actually make a transaction, make a purchase, and it's completely different, that's where the realtor really has a challenge, because people do believe I know you've had them. Somebody has come to me before and they're like, well, I don't have any money in the bank and I don't really make a lot of money, but I want this $250,000 house over here. Can you qualify me? Because they make it seem so easy on HGTV, not to pick on them, but on reality TV.
Right. For sure. And again, it goes back to that relationship building business. And when you are connected to people and you realize that you are selling someone's home, that they, yes, it is 4 walls and a roof, but what it is their family and their memories and for good and bad. So it's a very emotional. And then you've got your buyer side that is very emotional as well. And they are the dreamers. They are the like, I can't wait to see my future in this home or this neighborhood or in Florida or things, And so you really have to temper that emotional transaction. And that's really where the realtor comes in. That's where we kind of add the professionalism to the guidance and the support so that you, the consumer, can make an informed decision. At the end of the day, I will never have the ability to make you buy or sell something you are not willing, able, and ready to do. I don't have that kind of power. I have a lot of superpowers, but that is not one, And so what my job is as a realtor is to counsel you and to help you understand what my internet, don't you?
Good.
But to help you understand the business side of what you are doing. And these realtors who, and again, not to pick on realtors, but these realtors who are just like, oh my God, I got to do this, I got to do that. And like, our job is to add the calm to this. Our job is to add the perspective of what it is you are doing. And, again, my other high horses are the different contracts that are out there. We have an as-is contract that was used by the banks because they are nowhere near this property. They have no idea what's going on. It is strictly an asset. And it is not an asset. It is somebody's livelihood tied into these four walls and a roof. And so the for sale and purchase contract allows you, the consumer, the buyer, to have an educated professionals help you through this process with inspection periods, with allowances for you are never going to buy, even a brand new home is not a perfect home, right? So that's why they put warranties on their roofs, and they put warranties on their appliances, and they put warranties on their structurals and blah, 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 all of that, right? Because you are never buying into a perfect home. It just doesn't exist. So to have the for sale and purchase contract that allows you to make an informed purchase, come on, guys. Like it just kills me to see people really try to shortcut a long-term investment. I just don't understand it. I really,
we should do a whole show on that for sure, because I love this topic.
Yeah.
It comes up a lot I'm not a realtor, but I hear my realtor friends talk about it.
And the truth is, these decade-old realtors do not know the for sale and purchase contract. And again, this is a big high horse of mine, huge sticking point. This is the most important and usually the highest financial investment anybody is going to make for their family. And to try to shortchange it, it's a concern of mine. And frankly, the realtor needs to sharpen their saw. They need to invest in their business and understand why and how this is supposed to be a win-win transaction. If the buyer has to lose for the seller to win, they are unweighted motivation for this transaction to go smoothly. Yes. If you can't create this win-win situation, you are going to have an uphill battle. And 20 years in the industry can tell, I can tell you there is no perfect contract. You are going to have things go awry. It just happens. But they are not brick walls and complete like detours. They are strictly obstacles that can be overcome when two professionals are guiding two lay people through this transaction.
Perfect. All right. So we have a lot to talk about.
You're getting me all fired up about this.
We have a lot to talk about. Tell them that I love this conversation. We'll continue it. So Cindy and I will be doing this every Friday at 11, Fierce Forward Fridays. Tell them the best way to reach you in between. If they have questions for you, or buyers or sellers are watching and they haven't engaged a realtor yet, how can they reach you?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. You can reach me on my cell phone at 407-963-7967. I'll drop it in the chat in case you need that. Or Cindy at WeSellOrlandoHomes.com is my email address. So I'm happy to help. Again, realtors out there, if you are not having fun, you are either doing it wrong or you are doing it with the wrong people. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, whether it is who you are working for or who you are working with. There is a lot of joy to be had helping people recognize home ownership and the wonders that it entails. So I'd love to help, and I'd love to chat with you.
I love it. All right. Thank you, Cindy DeCoster. That was awesome.
Thank you.
All right, guys, reach out to Cindy. She gave you all the 411. We're going to continue this conversation next Friday at 11 o'clock. Tune in. If you have questions before, and you want to email one of us or reach out, let us know what your questions are, maybe a topic you want to talk about. We would welcome it. All right, Cindy, thank you so much.
Thank you
Bye,
so
everybody.
much.
We'll see you soon.